There were body parts flying everywhere. Those were the words Julian Parker used when I talked with him in 2018 as he recollected D-Day 1944. Julian is now 96 years old. I talked with him again just a couple of weeks ago on the anniversary of D-Day. This time I asked if I could record our conversation. Julian and his wife Jean both allowed me to video our conversation just like he was. They also gave permission for me to publish our conversation. Julian was up close and personal with the horrors of war. The next 16 minutes are a few memories of Private First Class Julian Parker of the 328th Infantry Division. From his time quietly waiting as the landing craft approached Normandy Beach, until he returned home and literally buried his hunting rifle, Julian shared his experiences. You need to watch this video. Well, did you have do you remember any of the guys that were on the landing craft with you?
No.
Did y'all talk on the way over?
No.
When you were in the water going over?
They just hand you your gun and ammo, and that was it. They wouldn't say nothing to you. Yeah.
Well, when the front of that landing craft went down, and you went running in the water.
Yeah.
About how deep was that water you got into?
It was about shoulder deep.
Shoulder deep. Wow.
Yeah. And you walk right straight up.
Yeah.
Because it had it fixed for a beach, because it had bars and all out there, you know, to land on.
Well, do you remember being on the beach?
Yeah, I forget the name of it. I don't even think the beach was marked. I know it was Normandy Beach we was on.
Did the Germans know you were coming?
Oh yeah, they knew it. I did know the darn sergeant's name, but it's been so long I forgot it. But Frank R. was my sergeant, and that was next to the Rhine River. So
when you landed on the beach, how long did you stay there?
Not too long. We gathered as a group. So,
yeah.
And then left out from there. Yet it was still a bunch of graves on that beach. See, they had to come uphill.
Yeah.
To go to that thing, and had to cross one small river, which was about, I'd say, 50 feet. And that's all they had to do.
Were there Germans up on the hill?
Yeah.
And they were shooting at you?
Yeah. Yeah, that whole hill was full of Germans. And they claim it's up there. It was a place up there with over 700 graves. The people that went up there and they'd killed them. They just didn't want people to live. The Germans, they had big holes dug in the ground and had a bunch of young boys in the army, and they would leave them up front, and then they had the regular Germans set in the back, and if they didn't do their job, they'd shoot them.
Huh? Young boys, like 12 or 13?
Yeah. They shooting on young kids.
So they'd be back there, and if the young kids didn't stop you, then they'd shoot them in the back.
Yeah, yeah. Hitler and them, taken everything out of France and stored it in a house on the hill, and they left it there a long time. And the French finally got it all back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I was on night patrol.
Okay.
In other words, what I done at night, I'd go out at night and collect information.
Uh-huh.
What's going on, or who's there, or what.
Yeah.
Just like some of them Americans, they tried to land them. Instead of that, they landed them in trees, and them darn Germans were shooting them.
Uh-huh.
Shooting them all out of trees. But you just like over here, different places is marked, you know.
Right.
They don't have none of that over there.
Yeah.
But the Rhine River was one of the main. In other words, they called it Death Valley, because that's where they sent all the dead.
Yeah.
To be got rid of.
And where was it when you stepped on the landmine? Was it at the Rhine?
Yeah, Rhine River. But when that thing, whenever I've stepped on that landmine, it throws me about 30 feet up in the darn air. But it was made, it was a place made, if the Americans come over with vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
they would be blown up, see? And that's what happened with it.
But you stepped on it.
Yeah. My head, this hole in my head up here, I can see my brain through it.
Uh-huh.
There's no scalp.
Uh-huh.
Hole in that scalp there, and one right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, did you say you were on night patrol when you stepped on the landmine?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you remember where you woke up?
Huh?
Do you remember where you were when you woke up?
I come alive right there.
Okay.
Sergeant helped me. Sergeant Brinkhardt.
Just threw you 30 feet up in the sky.
Yeah.
Man. And you went to the hospital then?
I don't remember.
Did they send you back to the States after that? Is that
No, they never did send me back until the war was over with. I got 3 Purple Hearts out of the whole deal. And then they the French tried to get me to join the outfit over there.
Uh-huh.
And they offered me a house, a car, a wife, and a job. Just to stay there.
Yeah.
France was sort of in the middle. In other words, it's shaped like that. France is back in the center. But
You wanted to come home.
But them Germans, they had one little town there where they used to take women and put them in there and suffocate them. Instead of killing them, they just put heat on them. And then women just sat there until they died.
That was some of those camps that they had.
Yeah.
Did you help set anybody free from any of those camps when the troops came through?
Huh?
Were you ever with a unit that went in and opened up any of those camps and take it over from the Germans and let people out of there?
No.
Okay.
No.
I know a lot of the units that had gone across there. I read about they would come to a place and rescue.
Mostly I pull night patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the Rhine River it's an island up, and they had some houses there that had a bunch of soldiers in them that hadn't had a meal in about 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
Up there in that house, just sealed up.
Were these German soldiers or American soldiers?
American soldiers.
POWs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we done that traveling a lot of times, and a lot of American soldiers got killed that the Americans caused.
Uh-huh. What was that? How did that happen?
They just forget where they was at and stuff like that.
And so they'd start firing artillery or something. It'd be American artillery coming down on you.
Uh-huh. They had one place out from the landing there where they had a bunch of stuff. But a lot of people, they was in jail. Some of them just about starved to death and stuff like that. And old Hitler, that's why he built the Bonn Highway, so he could get out of there if something happened.
Now, you told me one time that when you got back home, you didn't want anything to do with shooting anything. So what'd you do with your rifle?
Huh?
You told me about your hunting rifle that you had, and you took it out in the woods and buried it.
I take it and buried it. I had one that I used to hunt with whenever I come home.
Uh-huh.
And I live in Richmond Hill. Yep.
Did anybody ask you where it was?
They never asked me a thing. The rifle was still in my house. Whenever I come home out of service, I just went and got it and taken it out. Dug a hole and buried it. I said, I don't want no more guns.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I come up with.
Well, you are a real hero. I see your medals over there.
Yeah.
And I know it's something sometime hard to think about, but
yeah.
That was today is the anniversary of landing on the beach.
Yeah.
When they landed on the beach.
Yeah.
And you know, there aren't many people that were there who are still alive right now. Did you write letters home?
Huh?
Did you write letters to back home?
Once in a while I'd write Mama a letter.
Did you ever get letters from home?
No.
They probably didn't even know how to catch up with you.
They did.
Yeah. Well, what kind of things could you tell her when you wrote her?
I just told them I was getting along fine.
Uh-huh.
And I'd see them when they could. I used to walk, me and Sawyer used to walk every day, and we had a cart that we pushed with all the stuff in it to see what we done with wrote to who's where and where they're from and all that kind of stuff. Because they had soldiers scattered everywhere. See?
Right.
Yeah. It was just a mess.
Did you ever meet any of the big generals like Patton or Eisenhower or?
Yeah, Patton. I don't know where it was because nothing wasn't marked,
Yeah.
To notice. Patton used to drive through all the time. and look at stuff. But he looks out for stuff. He was about the only one though. He was the head man.
Now you were in the infantry, weren't you?
328th Infantry Division.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Do you remember your serial number?
I don't remember whether I remember him or not.
And what was your rank?
Private first class. And they asked me for a promotion and I wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
I refused it. They wanted me to be a corporal and all that, and that way you would be in charge of a group, see.
Right.
And I said, I don't want no part of that. Me and Sawyer, we used to go and check places to see who's where and everything like that. That's what we always done. But that's the way it worked out.
Yeah. Well, how old are you now?
You just had a birthday.
I was thinking you just had a birthday. How many was it?
97, 96.
96 years old.
96.
Uh-huh.
I think my father's going to be 96 next week.
But for as old as he is, and as way back as he is, people think he doesn't know much. He's got them fooled.
Yeah.
I mean, for all that he's done in his life, there's hardly anybody around that can match it right now.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Julian Parker, for your service to our nation. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Please like this video, subscribe, and share with others. May God bless you and your loved ones, and may God shed His grace on our nation.